Cold callers get in, they're trying to gather information, screen to a different level, obviously. But still, when you're calling back to them, you're just trying to start the conversation back again, right? You just need to get back on the phone with them. So whatever the case is, whatever channel you're using, just remember that it's to draw them into the raise hand into a call, like just an inch down the pipeline, and then you figure out whether there's a deal or not. If you guys haven't run this list, you can see my screen. I'm just doing a random zip code here, but if you haven't run this cash buyer, corporate buyer list, these two lists right here, super effective. If you tried to do them in other systems before, maybe they worked for you, maybe they didn't, but we hit this stuff a lot better on the LLCs and all. You just have to understand that, like, obviously if you do a corporate list, you're gonna get a better hit rate with us than you might be used to seeing, but there's gonna be, like, as you go corporate, there's more inaccuracy. It's still accurate, but there's going to be, more stuff going on in there. But yeah, so how many, Lonnie, what was the size of the list that you hit? I think it was this corporate buyers list. Yeah, so like for this one, this is the list, guys. I don't know if you guys haven't been here every week, or you haven't had a chance to do this yet, or maybe I went too fast last time I did it. This is the list we were using when we were targeting, when we had a property, we had a property and a zip code, and we were trying to just find a buyer for it. Let's just get a deal assigned, right? Corporate buyers targeting by zip, yeah. So that's it right there. I mean, it really is that simple. Like, we could talk about it forever, but we don't need to. It's just like pop the zip code in here, go find the corporate buyers. This list is small. It's only 144. So like, that's a very cheap list to buy that you just push right over to SkipTrace, and you'll get a lot of cool stuff out of it. So Lonnie, that's awesome, man. So you did that for how long? Like, how big was the list and how long did it take you to call everyone? Probably about that size. How long did it take you to call everyone? That's an easier one. Just answer whatever you can. So you're talking about, and then what's the assignment fee on that, or potential profit on that, right? So like, if it's 144, let's call it, say it's 200, it's like a $20 or less list. You call it one afternoon, blast through it, connect with some buyers. That 144 is probably not truly a 144, right, guys? Like, because there's a lot of repeat buyers in there and stuff. You just sit down and blast through that list one afternoon. You can set, like, if you guys are on this call right now and you have deals that you cannot sell, is that anybody? Just do a raise hand, or just throw something in the chat here. Let me know if you're having issues moving deals, because this is like the easiest piece, I think, because you can target in like this, just like Lonnie did. Jermaine says, hey, Peter, pulling the list of buyers, is there a way to delete duplicates? What do you mean by delete? Like, I don't want to delete anything, because if there's duplicates, there's not going to be duplicates of the same property. There may be an owner who owns multiple properties, but like, I want to see that in my list. And anything you're importing into should be detecting that anyways. Are you having a specific issue with that, Jermaine? If they own, and again, guys, it depends on, like, with this corporate thing, right? You're going to have buyers that the SkipTrace contact that comes back is the same person, but it may be 5 different LLCs for the 5 different properties that they own. I don't want to delete that. When I go import it, it's going to detect, because I'm going to import the name of the person. That's all going to be the same person, but they're going to be 5 different properties. I want to see that that investor owns 5 different properties in 5 different LLCs, because that tells me something about the investor. Does that make sense, Jermaine? Yeah, with this stuff, guys, like these buyers lists. So I just want to make sure everybody's clear on the separation of it, right? Like, we talk about a lot of different marketing pieces in here. When we're talking about these buyers lists, the tips I'm talking about, or the way I approach some of this stuff, it's because it's a small list, right? You can't go do the same thing with 2,000, 3,000, or 10,000 person list. So this is about the buyers, a little bit different process, because you're going to try and relationship build with those buyers so you can sell them a property and then sell them multiple properties. The sellers is more, you're like, you're 100 to 1 probably what you're trying to reach out to sellers versus buyers. So if you guys have, again, guys, I don't know who was here for this when I did it or not, but if you've got a property, this example that we were just recapping here, Lonnie did it recently. He had a property he was looking to move. Simply just after one of these calls, took the zip code, of the property, popped it in here. So this is I think you guys are all users in here, but this is the direct skip platform. So we search the zip code. Let me just start this again for you. So, simple zip code search, 4321. Let's do 211 this time. So 43211, and we just do this corporate buyers list in the last year. So this is going to show me all the guys who have been actively buying in the last year and still own. So this is one pool of investors. So 534 there. I would just send right to SkipTrace. This is like a $50 list, probably less than that. And you right inside that list, you'll find, you'll be able to move those properties if they're priced right, which we assumed Lonnie negotiated that right. What's your guys' big, like right now, if you could have more of anything, obviously the deal is for everybody, but sellers or buyers, what's the one thing, if you had one of those that you had more of right now, that you could like really turn it up? Which side of it is really the bottleneck? That goes to everybody, not just Jermaine or Lonnie. Like a couple of you guys haven't said much, but yeah, let me know which side is it, because there's a specific thing you can do immediately to just kind of ramp those pieces up. So whatever it is, whether it's this side, just targeting buyers like this, I really like this activity, guys. Like if you have dispo people, dispo teams, essentially like the failure that a lot of business, like wholesale operations do when trying to become a business is think about the dispo side for a second. What so many people do is they just try and sell deals, right? So like in your head, you're spending a lot of marketing dollars for the sellers up front, cold calling and texting and, trying to get them into your CRM. Like we talk about, like scrape those off, get them in your CRM, a tighter environment. Your dispo people need to be doing the same thing. Like every day they should be reaching out to new buyers, investor buyers, to talk to them, profile them, see what they're buying, see what's going on, not just reach out when they have a deal. Sure, that could be effective, but you're only capturing a percentage of it, right? The way you do more deals is really you're lead genning the whole time. So if you get, your dispo people, if they're sitting there and they have a deal to move, great. This makes it pretty easy just to target something. Even if they don't, if, they look at the acquisitions team, or you talk to the acquisitions team and they're like, hey, we're cranking up. We have a lot of activity right now in this zip code. As a dispo person, if I know that they're starting to market heavier in an area, or there's more lead flow coming through in a zip code really heavy right now, if I'm a smart dispo person, before those deals go under contract, which is going to take a little bit to get through the cycle, I'm going to go in and start targeting buyers in that area and start having conversations with them. Right? What's going on? What are you buying? What are you looking for? So that way, when something pops up on acquisitions, I already know the 3 to 5 guys I can go to because I've already been having those conversations, right? So it's a preset. All this marketing that we're talking about, it's not about doing it all up front. It's about these actions up front that preset them into a further condition down the pipeline, right? So for your sellers, we talk about this all the time. You're not trying to close them or do the deal over text. You're trying to use the text to get on the phone with them, right? Cold callers get in, they're trying to gather information, screen to a different level, obviously. But still, when you're calling back to them, you're just trying to start the conversation back again, right? You just need to get back on the phone with them. So whatever the case is, whatever channel you're using, just remember that it's to draw them into the raise hand, into a call, like just an inch down the pipeline, and then you figure out whether there's a deal or not. The same thing should be happening all the time with your buyers and with these buyer areas.